Hello, this is the TradeSite US Stocks and Futures Market Preview for Thursday, August 5th and Friday, August 6th, 2021. As usual, we don't typically do market previews for Fridays. I don't think this week's going to be anything different considering how flat this has been now. Going on 10 days in a row, we are, Thursday will be the last day of the 8 days of core earnings, but this is something special right now, how flat this is. Just look at the ES and look at the candles, the daily candles going back 10 days, and what a tiny little range that is. And even if you go back to like the middle of this chart back in March and April, where you had some flat times, but look at how the candles were just wider. There was at least more action. There's not too many times where you'd go 10 days in a row like that. This is really like, I mean, we know it's summer, but usually July is the slowest and August is better. And we're not seeing it yet. So hopefully the core earnings season ends after tomorrow. A lot of stocks reporting tomorrow before and after the bell. Obviously a summer Friday, you don't expect much, and then we'll have to get back to work hopefully the next week. But and again, biggest thing is, this is why we analyze the market first. If there's nothing going on, we don't do much. Got to make sure we're not doing stupid things. So market doesn't move, we keep our powder dry, keep looking around waiting to find things, but can't really do much else. Let's go through the major daily charts. Crude oil down 11 cents to 68.04 currently. It's been on the decline over the last few days. Gold up 40 cents. That's a blip. S&P cash loses today 20.49, but it's still, like you'll see in a minute, in that range. Nasdaq 100 up 21.96, also still in that range. And also, this is a 12th candle, so tomorrow, one more day up will be a 13 sell signal. And last time that happened on the daily chart, it did lead to a slight move down for a little bit, but not long. So we'll see what we get. But we definitely have to be aware of that. And when I talk about that weekly chart, we did bust the risk line, but just barely, and we're still kind of playing with it. So we'll see. But definitely expect that when the move starts to happen, it's going to be to the downside. The SOX, though, new highs up 40, broke the risk line on that 13 sell signal. But again, that sell signal came out and worked. I mean, it was a month since we did that and topped out on the day. So the last two 13 signals here have been right on the money and worked. The biotech's up 72. So this is the biotech's forming a cup and heading up here. Maybe that becomes more interesting again as COVID continues, the COVID Delta variant continues to be on the rise, and maybe some of these stocks are going to see something from that. The Russell 2000 is so flat all year. You can maybe take the first 3 weeks of the year, and then we're sitting right where we were at the back end of that. The VIX loses 7 cents to 17.97. The trend closes at 1.96, puts the 10-day moving average. I'm sorry, 1.98, puts the 10-day moving average at 1.26. I can do this. So that's going to keep that 10-day up for a while. No sell signal in the market with that. 4.3 billion shares on the Nasdaq, a little bit better, but there's a lot going on with Robinhood today. I'll show you that one in a moment. Nasdaq advanced decline ratio negative 1164. So more stocks were down than up by quite a bit. And on the New York, negative 1102, which is what makes it interesting that stocks, biotechs, and the Nasdaq were up. But really, those advanced decline ratios internally were really bad. Google down $10.09. Apple down just 41 cents. Nobody really cares. Netflix was actually up $6.30. Amazon down 11.52. So again, that's not super interesting from that perspective. It's been back and forth nonsense here, generally speaking. Tesla up $1.18. That's a blip for Tesla. Facebook up $7.68. Zoom up 25.70. Woo, that's a big day up. And look at that. That pattern looks really interesting. I'm sure that one's going to make the list for tomorrow as well. Goldman Sachs down $2.50. This thing's been really flat too. TLT, the 20-year bond ETF, up 31 cents. Not much there. The Dow was down 323. Bitcoin sitting almost at 40,000 again. Sorry about the yawn. And here's Robinhood. So this is the one, all the volume today. 175 million shares. Think about that. That's a lot of volume for a stock that didn't exist a week ago. And obviously, the initial action was not super positive. The stock closed the first day underneath its IPO price, which is never great, and has, at least in the short run, been saved by a lot of chatter from people. Who knows if they're actually buying the stock, but they're certainly manipulating it and pushing it up and causing a bit of a short squeeze on Robinhood to start. So we'll see if that holds. I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. All right, in terms of the 5-minute candles, this day was so flat. I mean, seriously, look at how bad this was. We were still right inside the opening 5-minute candle until the very last candle down. It just was such a horrid day. And I do want to, usually we look at sometimes the 10-minute candle, but I'm going to look at 15 here just so you can see going back now almost 2 weeks, right? There's a point where we actually had a gap up day and held, and ever since then, we have just been in this little range, and the bulk of it is really only about 30 points on the S&P. That is just nothing. So that's just horrible to see. The Nasdaq side, not much different. All right. So in terms of what's left for the week, let's look at the economic data. Obviously, that's a big deal, or can be a big deal. I don't see too much here. Challenger job cuts here in the U.S. Oh, we got a rate announcement out of the Bank of England overnight tonight. Challenger job cuts at 7:30. We've got trade balance here and in Canada and the weekly initial and continuing jobs claims numbers. Trade balance is one of our big three. We're already half size in Forex because the summer doldrums be even less than that for the head of the trade balance number. Natty gas at 10:30. That's a U.S. number here. And then on Friday, we've got the unemployment rate and the non-farm payroll numbers here in the U.S. That's another one. And then final wholesale inventories, consumer credit at 3 p.m. So 2 big numbers. You got to take your Forex size down for both of the next 2 nights. And we'll see what we get. Have a great weekend. Charts as usual brought to you by eSignal. If you've not yet taken a trial of our services, feel free to do so. We will help you out for a couple weeks. Have a great trading week.